I'm Tim Alberta, staff writer for The Atlantic magazine and author of two books. My second book is called The Kingdom, the Power, and the Glory: American Evangelicals in an Age of Extremism. And the book is really meant to be sort of one part memoir, one part investigation, reportage, and one part reflection on the modern evangelical movement and what has gone wrong and what might yet deliver it from the clutches of the politicos and the culture war profiteers and all of the bad faith actors who have manipulated millions of people into believing that in order to be a Christian in this country, you have to hate your neighbor and you have to hate your political opponent. You have to hate the people who disagree with you. And that ultimately, your kingdom here in America is every bit as important as your kingdom in heaven. Of course, they would never maybe say that last part out loud, but what I try to get across in the book is just the degree to which the American identity has come into conflict with the Christian identity for millions of believers in this country because of the unique circumstances of being an American and because of the sort of mystique that surrounds the American founding and how many people are led to believe that this was, in fact, founded to be a Christian nation, but now it is strayed from the ideals of its founding. And only by fighting to retake that country that was stolen from us, then we are doing our patriotic duty, and then we are doing our duty before God. That is the sort of that is the indoctrination that has happened and is still happening inside of much of the American evangelical community. And it has led to a real fracture inside of a lot of churches, individual congregations, but also large denominations. And you have this real struggle now for the soul of the American evangelical church in ways that I think were predictable decades ago when we were dealing with the moral majority and the rise of Jerry Falwell and the televangelist scene and all of the hypocrisy and corruption that accompanied that era. But I think what's unique now is that we've entered into this moment of such intense polarization in the country at large, politically, culturally, geographically, economically, and the church sort of sits at the intersection of so much of that polarization. And we worship a God, we follow a Messiah who tells us very unambiguously as believers uh, how we are to treat our neighbor, how we are to treat our enemy, how we are to treat the stranger and the sojourner in our midst, and yet we struggle so mightily with those very basic teachings because we are simultaneously being catechized by a culture and by a political scene that often holds the exact opposite incentives in place and is teaching us the exact opposite things that Christ is teaching us. And so it's a moment of reckoning for individual Christians, of course, but I think really for the church as an institution, there are profound and almost, dare I say, existential problems that we have to confront and that we have to solve if we are going to restore our reputation and our credibility in the eyes of the outside world, of people who do not follow Christ, but who might yet find themselves open to listening to us and learning about Jesus if only we could get out of our own way, and if we could clean up our own house so that we might then be able to effectively offer a witness for Jesus in ways that we haven't been able to do in this country for a very long time.